You know why you couldn't hear it? Because this wasn't on. Hold on. Now let's see. Can you?
My live is like delayed. There it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that. We was trying to get it together. Can you hear it on the other one too? You know why you couldn't hear it? Because this wasn't on. Now let's see. Can you? All right, just waiting for a few people to chime in, to come in. Here to talk about where is my luggage, my experience about my luggage while I was on this 12-day cruise. Anybody ever had to figure out where their luggage was on any trip? Lost luggage? Had to figure out where their luggage was on any trip? Lost luggage? All right. Hey, Sabrina, thank you for tuning in with me. Waiting a few seconds to see if we get some more viewers in while I'm on here. It's going to be on here for probably about an hour. Hi, Edna's World. Thank you for tuning in with me. Trying out a streaming app that I never tried out before. So trying to see if it's going to work out for me today. So far, I guess it's going good. Here to talk about this lost luggage. Where is my luggage when I'm getting off this cruise ship and my luggage is nowhere to be found? Where is my luggage? We just recently sailed on Regal Princess for 12 days. We had 12 wonderful days of sailing on Regal Princess. Get off the ship at the port in Fort Lauderdale. Going around looking for my luggage. It's not in the section that it's supposed to be in. Searching all throughout the terminal for my luggage, and it is not there. So what do you do when you can't find your luggage? And I only had 2 suitcases with me. So what do you do when your luggage is missing? It's not there. They help you search for your luggage. So they helped me look all throughout the port for my luggage. I hung around until the port just about gotten empty. Most people probably would have left, probably would have filled out the little form that they give you and leave. I did not do that. They helped me look for the luggage inside, and someone was on the outside looking. Now, here's the thing about being at the port. Once you arrive, you normally go in, you get your luggage, and you leave. Mine's was not there. The other travelers, theirs was there. Had I left out, I would not have been able to come back in. So I decided I was going to just hang around until it got about halfway empty, or until it was empty, until there were no more suitcases, hoping that mine would turn up. They did give me a form to fill out. When you fill out the form, there's a number on the back of the copy of the form that you would call, to see if there's any update about your luggage, or they will give you a call if your luggage so happens to reappear. They say most cases, some passengers, if they do take the wrong luggage, they will leave it outside on the sidewalk. Some of the security have found other people's luggage out on the sidewalk outside of that terminal. However, mine was not out there. They went to search and it was not out there. Like I said, I hung around until most of the suitcases were gone. Still, my luggage was not there. And I'm sitting there like, okay, what I'm going to do? Thankfully, the trip was over, so I didn't have to worry about having any clothing or nothing like that. But I had some items in there that I did want, to take back home with me. So I'm like, what if, the person doesn't bring it back? That's what I kept asking them. What if the person doesn't return my luggage? Somebody had to have taken it because it's not here. I know it's you guys said it's not on the ship because they take everything off of the ship. So I'm like, what if they don't return my luggage? And they like, no, it'll turn back up. The person will, send your luggage back, or they'll come back and drop it off. And they were like, they have to send the luggage back in order to receive theirs. And I'm like, how can you make certain of that? But they said, they had situations where people have taken other people's luggage and they had to send it back to that terminal or whatever the address was on the form in order to receive their luggage. So I filled out the form, like I said, but I did decide to still hang around. Something just kept saying, just hang around. So I kept hanging around. So there were about 3 or 4 sets of suitcases left. One particular set of luggage looked similar to mine, a different color, but it looked similar to mine. There was another set of, I would think it was like 3 pieces together, then looked nothing like mine. Absolutely nothing at all, not even close. So, I'm just staring at this set that looks similar to mine. And I'm like, you know what? Let me get their phone number off here. Let me try to call them. So, I tried to call them. They did not answer. So I went on ahead and left a message and also a text message as well. No respond back. And I'm like, I know they got to have my luggage. They got to, because it was a little similar, but a different color. It had the same ridges in it, just like mine. My set was, I had the medium-sized suitcase and the small, carry-on suitcase, dark grayish color. Theirs was a dark green color, like a forest green or something. So I don't know how could they get that confused. I don't know. If you're in a hurry, you're just gonna reach and grab whoever was helping them. They probably just pointed towards the suitcase. Theirs probably was like right behind mine or right in front of mine, but they picked up the wrong set. So, like I said, I called and I text, left a voicemail as well. Then, it was getting empty. It was time for them to do, to turn over or whatever. So we had to leave out. So we left out, heading, getting ready to head out for the airport. And then I get a message back. I got a text back. So that person did have my luggage and they were on their way to Miami. We were in Fort Lauderdale and they were like minutes away from the Miami airport. So, she was like, well, wait, we're going to pull over in a minute and, we'll check or whatever, and because she was like, well, how do you know? First she was like, how do you know? We have your luggage? How do you know that we have the wrong luggage? And I'm telling her, apparently I know because I got your phone number. I'm a stranger who has your phone number, And she was like, we're going to check. That's what she kept texting back. And so they did check and they did have it. And she texted me back, trying to figure out where to meet up at. And I told her, I don't have your luggage. She thought I had hers as well. And she was trying to meet up to exchange. But I explained to her, I don't have your luggage because they were not going to let me leave out with yours. So you're going to have to take mine back to Fort Lauderdale, to the cruise port and get your luggage. And then I'm just going to have to go there to get mine, or you could bring mine to me, either or. She was going to bring it to Fort Lauderdale airport. But instead, she went on ahead and just took it back to the cruise terminal and kept in touch with me until I got back there to get mine. So, yeah, it was very similar. So I could see that mistake happening if you're in a hurry and not paying attention. Most cases, most people would normally put like a colorful ribbon or something attached to their suitcase so that it doesn't get mixed up with anyone else. Yes, they did. We did find it. I was looking in the comments. Yes, we did find it. I found it. Glad I found it because I had some souvenirs in there and my drone was in there, things in there I want. So we did locate it. I did get it back. However, there was a bit of a little challenge getting back because we forgot which entrance we went into the port. And we were using the GPS to get back to the port or whatever, ended up on the wrong side and all that stuff. But we found our way back and I was able to retrieve my luggage. So a good thing that happened on the way home. And nothing, I didn't lose luggage, from the flight trying to take a cruise. So, yep, got my luggage back. And the person did keep in touch and she wanted to make sure that I was able to get it, that I had gotten back to the port and gotten it. So, and another thing, I'm glad that I did have her get her number off of her luggage tag. So that's another good thing. Put your phone number on the luggage tag, even getting off the ship. Never just assume that, nothing is going to happen between you getting off that ship and collecting your luggage at the port. Put your name, put your number, your name, and your address on there, or at least put the city and state on there and your phone number. So if something do happen, that other person can contact you. So I'm glad that she had her phone number on there. I had my phone number on mine as well. So that was a good thing. But other than that, let's say, if I did not text her, or just, if it didn't come to mind that this person could possibly have my luggage, their home is in Canada. So their home is in Canada. Mine is in Carolina. So, I would have to really wait for that luggage. I would have to wait for her to mail that luggage off once she got home or got into the airport and noticed that she has the wrong luggage. So, or she probably would have left it at the airport, not thinking that she picked up the wrong luggage. So, I don't know what would have happened. Thankfully, I was able to get her number off the tag and contact her, and I got my luggage. So, yeah. Yes, you can put ribbons on the luggage. Like I said, even in that event with the ribbons on there, I don't even think they probably would have been paying attention to that, being that mine is gray, hers is green. So I don't know, but the ribbons can help, help you identify your luggage quickly, or, maybe, if a person sees that ribbon, they won't reach out and grab your luggage. So, but yeah, that is a tip, to put ribbons on your luggage. So I got my luggage. I don't have to figure out where's my luggage. I'm not calling any 1-800 numbers or waiting around for somebody to put my luggage in the mail. So, yep, got my luggage back. So, and also when we boarded the ship priority. So, we were told, your luggage will be at your door or whatever. Don't ever think that your luggage is going to be at your door when you board the ship or within that hour's time. My luggage did not arrive to the door until that evening. Once we had boarded the ship, sail away time, I believe, was for like 3:00. I didn't get my luggage until probably about 6 or 7 o'clock. The other two travelers had gotten theirs. Well, one of the travelers, she got all 3 of hers early. And me and the other traveler got ours a little late. Mine came around about 7 o'clock. So you do want to have a little carry-on with you when you're boarding the ship, just in case you get your luggage a little late and you may want to change. You may want to freshen up and change. Have a little carry-on with you, a few items in the bag with you when boarding the ship too. So that's just a little tip for you to keep in mind when you're cruising. So just want to check and see if I'm getting any comments. I know this is still during work hours, so most people are working, but you can go back and watch the replay. But this is just my little Tuesday tips for today. Just wanted to come on and share that story. Yes, you can put ribbons on your suitcase. You can use cute little colorful tags. I have some of those, but for some reason I didn't take them with me when I was going. Just forgot to take them. And I have some cute little bright ones, so to keep on my luggage. So, but yeah, that is a little tip. You can use ribbons. You can put colorful tags on your bags so you can quickly identify them, or someone else will notice the colorful tags and they won't pick up your luggage accidentally. But other than that, there were no other problems besides what happened about the flight when I had to get off the flight in Charlotte. So, and I shared that story previously about having to get off the flight in Charlotte because they were having issues with the plane and it was not safe to fly. So we had to spend a night in the airport. But other than that, my returning home was okay. Other than that, besides not having my luggage. And that's another thing. You don't want your flight time to be too early when you're on that return, and on the return you know you want to catch a flight, you have to catch a flight back home. Don't schedule that flight too early because you never know what can happen. Had I had an early flight, I would have had to just leave. I would have had to leave and just let them figure out about my luggage or whatever. Wait for them to contact me or whatever. But because I had a later flight, I was able to hang around and kind of figure it out. And thankful that the other traveler, she had a later flight as well, even though she was leaving out of the Miami airport. She took a shuttle from Fort Lauderdale to Miami airport. So she had a late flight as well. And I'm glad I had a late flight. That gave me enough time to kind of, okay, figure out what I'm going to do about my luggage. So it gave me time to reach out to her and wait around for the return of my luggage and, go back to the cruise port and take care of that. And also get a good meal and visit family while I was there in Fort Lauderdale. So it all worked out. And of course, it was a learning experience. So I can come back and share with others, what should you do? And that was just thinking out of the box. Hey, get that person's number, see if you can reach out to them, take a picture of the tag. So you'll have the number. You can keep trying to contact them and, hopefully be able to get your things back. So it did work out within a couple of hours. Yeah, you don't have to put your address. On my tag, I only put the city and the state and my phone number, and that was it. No, you don't have to put your full address on there. Just the city and the state, and make sure you put your phone number so someone can reach you. If they're thinking the way that I was thinking, to actually get the phone number off the tag. So, and I'm checking comments on both platforms right now. I am on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, okay, and over there. Okay, just want to hop on here and share that. I do have more to share from our Regal experience. Like I said, Princess is one of those cruise lines that, if you're a cruiser, you should check it out. Check it out. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm telling you, check it out. Like I said, the entertainment on there is wonderful. I mean, you will be entertained from the time you wake up till it's time to lay down, past the time that you would probably lay down. So you will not, trust me, you will not get bored on Princess. We did not get bored, and I'm actually thinking about getting on Princess again. Definitely. I've been looking at different sale dates for Princess, and the pricing is not bad. It's kind of reasonable, and they do have deals here and there for Princess. So I'm telling you, you sail on Princess, you will not be disappointed. And like I said, we got to get more people on Princess. We need to, more different age groups on there. Like I said, it's more of a older crowd on there, but it was still fun. It was still fun. We still had a blast. And hey, the older crowd loves to party. So, but I just wanted to come on here and just share that just a little bit. Like I said, those are working. You can always go back and watch the replay. And that is all that I have for today. And I will be back live again. Thank you.